What's going on, everybody? Family, friends, strangers. Grand setting. It's obviously nighttime. Sun's gone, so that's why I said grand setting, not grand rising, whatever. This is my second video. I keep saying I'm working on talking a little bit better towards the camera, and actually just in real life in general. I'm trying to broaden my vocabulary. I'm trying to work on outwardly just being transparent in general. That's something I've been lacking for so long, is my transparency. And yeah, that's why I'm doing these videos and stuff like that. I just really jumped into talking about stuff. That was pretty fast. But yeah. I feel better today than I did the last time I did a video. I feel a lot more confident. I feel more open to being transparent, which is really cool. The first time I did a video was random, bro. I just decided to do it to see how it made me feel, and it made me feel really good. So yeah, like I said, I don't even know if I did say this, but I'm going to be doing these videos a lot. I'm gonna be trying to, it's just, like I said, it's a healing process for me. I'm healing from stuff, and you'll hear about it throughout my video journeys, and just as you watch me go along. But yeah, I'm really I'm in a crazy space right now. It's new. It feels new. But I'm gonna actually use this time to continue where I left off at, and maybe that'll kind of put a lot of things together for me, because this is I'm literally doing this like fresh off. Like, this is freestyle video. No, I got topics I wrote down in my notepad and stuff like that to talk about on videos, but I feel much better actually just doing it, like talking to the camera just directly, and just talking about what's on my mind, what I've been going through as far as like anything that just happened to me recently. Like whatever happened to me in the last day, you're gonna hear about, you're gonna know about, or just whatever I decide to talk about. I spent a long time explaining all that just to say I'm here and I'm gonna make a video. I'm tripping, man. I'm working on this video etiquette shit, but yeah, y'all got me. But yeah, we gonna do some self-reflecting. I encourage everybody to self-reflect with me as you watch these videos, or after you watch the videos. Just I hope it encourages everybody to do the self-reflection that they need to unlock all the answers they've been looking for. Because remember, I said all the answers are in your mind, bro. You're born with all the answers you need, and you just need to unlock them. And it takes self-reflection, it takes discipline, it takes a lot of things to do that. And if this helps you, I'm glad, I'm happy. But yeah, let's I'm gonna self-reflect on, I'll pick up where I left off in the last video, because my last video did get cut off. I think my phone died. But I was pretty much talking about how I was telling my story. Basically, I started telling my story as far as me being just a young man, and how I pretty much entered the world at 17, and speaking about how I got signed to the independent label. For those that don't know me, I make music. I've been doing it, and I've been pursuing it for 10 years as of this year. It's my 10-year mark. I'm actually pretty happy about that. I've never really had something I can say I've been at for that long. And, you know, it's crazy to think about. Like 10 years ago, I was signed to an independent label named Cornerstone Music Group, and that kind of just started my journey in music and just my journey overall in life as a young man. I didn't really have anywhere to go other than that, anything that I was interested in other than that. And like I said, my life was full of chaos. It's surrounded by chaos. I'm not gonna say full of chaos, but it was surrounded by chaos, confusion, and you know, just a bunch of influences that I knew weren't my cup of tea, really. Like I didn't want to be like a lot of the people around me. I wanted to be someone great. I wanted to be great. That's what I knew. I knew I wanted to be great, and music was an outlet for me, and I used it to the fullest. I tried to capitalize as much as I could off of it, honestly, bro. You know, like I said, 17, a label offers me you know, they offer to pay for my studio time, they offer to pay for my travel, they pay for my food, pay for my boarding, and you know, that sounds great as a 17-year-old man. And it was great. It was actually a great experience for me. I think you know, like I said, the people that ran the label, they were genuinely trying to be good people. Like I said, I haven't spoke to them recently at all. I haven't spoke to them in a while, but I do remember a lot of you know, what went on down there, and it was definitely a great experience, a learning experience. I started getting more into the business side of the music aspect just by being around them, and yeah, it introduced me to Photoshop. Now I'm on Photoshop all the time. I use Photoshop I make my own covers. I used to make covers for different people in Tampa. At one point, I only wanted to make covers. Like I was putting ads on Craigslist saying I'm a graphic designer. I'll make your cover, your logo, all these different things, because I was so inspired by seeing these people around me do that. Excuse me. And they were actually fueling my fire. They were actually catering to the creativity that was kind of conjuring up inside of me. And you know, it was a beautiful thing. And you know, I can only say that because I'm reflecting on it. In the moment, I wasn't really thinking about is this person catering to this or that. I mean, obviously I was like, you know, obviously I'm watching and seeing if anybody's working. Like everybody likes to say, I only want you around me if you working and this or that and that. But over time it gets deeper than that, man. It gets deeper than just working. It gets to the point where like you got to make sure the people around you are and it all depends on what you're doing. Like you got to make sure they're working. You got to make sure the people around you are working. You got to make sure the people around you are holding you accountable. You got to make sure the people around you are being responsible, not only for themselves but for you and the people around them. Like it's a bunch of things that you start to think about once you've actually gotten into this world and shit starts to happen to you, because you know, being a young man, you don't think about how that stuff affects you in the long run at all. And you know, to continue on with my story, like I said, 17-year-old me in West Palm Beach, back and forth, signed to this label. We made a lot of music. I was in and out of school just because I was signed to this label, and I didn't really connect with school like that. Like I said, there was a lot of chaos going on in my house. You know, I did get permission to go down to West Palm Beach with the label from my mom, but you know, I really kind of begged her to do it, because you know, I was like, in my head I was like, this is something that's gonna get me away from all of this stuff, like the arguments, the misdirection and the no structure, pretty much, man. I didn't know how to describe it at the time, but you know, it did serve its purpose for me, at least, and taught me a lot, like I said. So yeah, basically when that came to an end after about a year, I was back out into the world. Just like, I don't know, I felt like I was back into the world by myself, and you know, that kind of fueled my work ethic as far as like music stuff or just anything business related in general, because I had realized that I didn't want to just be you know, I didn't want to just be here in this world not doing anything or working for somebody. Everything that we did down there was a lot of fun, and it was also work at the same time. So, you know, that put me, once that ended so abruptly, you know, it put me in a weird space. And you know, I wasn't making any money from it, but I was 17, and you know, I was able to stay somewhere. I was able to eat. You know, what else did I need, bro? I wasn't around toxicity, at least in my opinion. I don't know what everybody else was personally going through, but you know, this is just me speaking from my journey, and it was cool. So yeah, thrown back into the world after about a year of being signed to the label. You know, the contract came to an end. The label kind of shut down, and you know, eventually I made my way back to Tampa, and I was kind of you know, out here by myself trying to figure it out. You know, I was living with my grandparents. You know, my grandparents are older people, and they don't really understand how this world works. So me trying to be open with them and you know, let them know that the things that I wanted to pursue, it didn't seem really real to them. It didn't seem like a real aspiration to them, or something that was going to benefit me in their eyes. I believe, just off of the way they acted towards you know, the situation. Nobody close to me really nurtured that the passion and your drive that I had to take on the music industry or business and stuff like that. And I'm not saying nobody close to me, as in, you know, nobody, like none of my uncles ever tried to, you know, stand by me and cheer me on and stuff like that. I've had people that have tried to, you know, give me tips here or there, and you know, people that are related to me, but it's never been like I've never had somebody's attention when it came to that. Like, and as a, you know, as a young child, as a person in general, when you feel like you're not getting any attention, you start trying to seek it, I guess. I don't know. I was really seeking that attention from my family, and I wasn't getting it at all. As far as me making music, I was getting more attention for getting a job or going to school, finishing school. Like I said, I didn't finish high school. Actually, take that back. I finished high school. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't have half of a credit, which was I think it was a math credit, and yeah, they didn't give me my diploma, so I never graduated. But that's really, it was none of my concern at the time either. So I wasn't really pressed on graduating, bro. It wasn't a thing to me. Even now, it's like I've done so much without graduating, and I know so many people that have degrees. They've been in college for so long, and I would say my mental state is I'm mentally way more advanced than a lot of these people, and I don't really need a piece of paper to define how intelligent I am, if that's the whole thing behind it. And you know, I knew that at a young age also. So I was really just like, you know, you just do a lot of things because your parents or people around you tell you that's the right things to do. And you know, that's essentially where you start to fuck up in life, because like I said earlier, you have all the answers. So everything that I'm telling me to do, I was kind of you know, pushing it off to the side, because I'm looking at the adults in my life and the people that I deem responsible adults and all these things. I'm looking at them and the things that they're telling me to do, and I'm like, this must be the way. This gotta be the way, or something that I'm not doing right, or something that I'm not seeing right. And you know, it still didn't make sense to me. That's the crazy part. I was looking at them saying that, and it wasn't adding up. So I knew I had to somehow get out or get away. And you know, at the time, you know, I had you know, I was in a relationship at the time, you know, a young 18-year-old, 17-year-old relationship that I was in, thinking that I knew what love was, thinking that you know, thinking that I was supposed to be in a relationship. And you know, that also played a big part in how I moved, because you know, in that relationship, I had invited this person to live with me, not only with me but at my family's house. And it was all a bad move, thinking back on it, because I didn't know, bro. I literally didn't know what I wanted. And over time, I started slowly finding out more and more about myself, and applying it little by little, still with the influence of the world in my ear. But you know, I was learning what I actually wanted, what was right, what was somewhat right, what was somewhat wrong. And you know, it took a weird turn. You know, I had a girl living with me, and you know, she was trying to go to school, I was trying to be a rapper. And you know, I had made new rapper friends, and you know, I would be gone most of the day hanging out with them, you know, semi being productive, semi not. And you know, I mean, she didn't see the importance in it. I seen a lot of importance in it, because I was you know, I was hungry, I was driven. Anybody that was a rapper, I wanted to be around. Anybody that made music, I wanted to be around. And you know, it led me to staying out late, I was actually coming back to the house late every night, or and stuff like that. And you know, I eventually learned that I shouldn't be doing this type of stuff while I'm in a relationship. And I cut it off with a girl, and you know, she didn't take it too well, because you know, like I said, I did a lot. I had her come to my people's house, live with my people, moved her all the way from her city to my city, just to find out about myself, and want to be by myself, all for the better. But you know, it's still a lot that I put a person through, not knowing. I can't really say anything for it, but you know, I learned. And you know, I have had the best intentions. I still have the best intentions for that situation. You know, it's a longer story. We'll get into that in another video maybe, because I'm kind of going blank on that one. But you know, I gotta think deeper on it. Right now, I'm just really talking in general, and going down the timeline, because literally, bruh, so much shit happened. And I believe it was that year and the next year, so many events happened in my life in those 2 years that I really have to think in detail on what exactly happened and when things happened, bro. Like those 2 years, I think it was I want to say it was 2013 and 2014 or 2012 and 2013. Those were like action-packed years for me, man. Like I said, I was 17 and 18 those years, and just trying to figure out the world. I'm still trying to figure out the world. And yeah, but you know, I'm sitting in the car right now. I'm sitting in this car right now and just reflecting, man. I think that was a long pause. Man, I feel like I'm in a weird space, man. I'm on a path and trying to stay on my path, and it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's hard to look back and see yourself make so many mistakes and try to it's not hard to try to not make the mistakes again, but it's hard knowing that you made some very detrimental mistakes. And you know, forgiving yourself is key. Forgiving yourself is key, and I'm working on that right now. Like Jay-Z said, man, that was a very real line. In order to survive, you gotta learn to live with regrets. That was some real shit, man. Because literally, if you don't learn to live with anything that you've done wrong, you will crumble. I've seen it happen to so many people, and I see so many people live just shitty, terrible lives because, you know, ultimately you can see that they've never forgave themselves for anything that they've done. And you know, it's not for anybody else but you when you forgive yourself, for real. You know, it don't matter what you've done. I mean, I'm not co-signing anybody that does super wild shit and, you know, needs to be handled accordingly. But after you've been handled accordingly, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit in your shit, or are you gonna, you know, forgive yourself so that you can still exist? Literally, if you don't forgive yourself, you won't exist. You're living in the trauma that you created, and you'll never grow. You'll never know anything new. You'll essentially close yourself off to every new idea because you're so stuck on yourself being a problem. You're so stuck on yourself being a fuck up that you don't want to be anything else. That's not right. That's actually kind of depressing. That is very depressing. And you know, you'll lead yourself down the wrong path by not forgiving yourself. I hope everybody forgives themselves for whatever it is they've done in life, and you know, just be able to see the other side in things. You know, it's not all bad all the time, or it doesn't have to be all bad all the time because you made a mistake. And you know, if people don't understand that, then those aren't people that you need to be around. Granted, you know, the people you hurt are gonna have a much harder time understanding that than anybody else, but that's why there's so many other people here on earth, bro. Like, you'll always have a clean slate with somebody, and you don't You don't have to be your mistake. You don't have to be your mistake with them. You can be yourself, and you can learn yourself even more if you give yourself the opportunity. Yeah, I was flowing and I got thrown off track, but yeah, man, forgiveness is key. And not only do you forgive yourself, but you have to learn to forgive other people as well. You know, everybody's going through their own growing process and their own learning process, and you know, it's not things get bad, man. Things get bad things, horrible things happen, but the only way you're gonna move on from any of those things is if you forgive, like I said, yourself and other people. Somebody does something to you, you're gonna live in what they've done to you your whole life until you learn to forgive them, or until you learn to live with the fact that this happened. There's some people that really get hooked on the fact that this happened to them, and it's traumatizing. I can't deny that a lot of things that happen to people are very traumatizing. Now, disclaimer: I am not justifying anything like any rape or just the stupid shit. Now that shit's outright stupid and perverted, and you know, ultimately, just that's bullshit, bro. If you doing that, you're fucked up on a psychological that forgiveness can't even help you with. And yeah, you need to seek deeper help. But yeah, man, forgive yourself, forgive people, love yourself, or nobody will love you. Yeah, it's been 27 minutes. I hope I sound good. Let me know. You don't have to let me know if you like the video or not. I'm gonna keep posting them. Like I said, I'm working on my vocabulary. I'm working on not saying in the middle of my videos. I'm working on not pausing for so long. I'm working on letting the words flow out, and you know, just learning myself overall and how I talk. I'm very quiet. I'm not very quiet. I'm very in my head, actually. Like I said, I'm working on being transparent. And yeah, I don't look as busted this video. I actually shaved this time. I didn't even think I was gonna record a video last time, so I look kind of crazy. I didn't shave for the video, but I did shave because it started getting out of control with the facial hair, man. But yeah, it's been a while, few months. I can't wait to talk to you guys about you know, all the stuff I have written down. I have a journal, not even a journal, but you know, it's a book. You know, I gotta keep me a notebook, not just for raps, but for you know, reflection and healing processes, healing purposes. I'm actually working on writing letters to people that I feel don't hear me out, and you know, I might send them out, I might not, but you know, the letters are just for me and the person that gets them or doesn't get them. And I'm just gonna address how I feel about things, because I feel like people haven't heard me out, or even won't hear me out, because of everything that I've exuded before and the way that I you know, come off to people. Like I said, I used to like to say I was very soft-spoken. I used to like to say I was a very quiet person, but I'm not, bro. I'm a very to myself person, and I have a big heart. So I don't like to make people feel like they're not right. I like to make people feel like they're right all the time. and that essentially turned into a problem for me, and messed me up. Not messed me up, but it messed a lot of things up for me in a lot of different ways, because I can't nobody can be wrong. That's dangerous. I shouldn't be listening to any and everything, and I shouldn't let people go on with being wrong when they're wrong, just because I don't want to hurt their feelings, just because I think they'll be upset. I have a really big thing with not upsetting people, and it's okay to upset people. I'm not talking to anybody but me.